Hello traders, this is Rich from TradeSite. This is a look at our market-leading ETFs via our proprietary scans for the coming session. This is going to be for Monday, May 19th, 2014. We had expiration day, so we had a little extra volume. The Qs did have a volume bump. They were up a little bit today, so that's definitely going to be a little positive for the chart. But as you can see, outside of that one volume bump, there were no deviations, and we were left with no signals, which should be no surprise off of the action from expiration. It's going to be a common theme here with little signals to show, because usually when we go into expiration, things are kind of in parity, kind of in harmony, and it's kind of just like getting things where the market needs them. And so we're not going to get a lot of signals. But let's take a look at the deviations. We've got a volume bump here in IYR. And we also have one in XLE. And definitely keep an eye on the energies, because there was some pretty good movement in some of the big components like ExxonMobil and whatnot in the last couple of sessions. Don't really have any outright open-close deviations. Got close to it on the SMH, which had a real strong close. That one was 1.5%, almost above the day's VWAP. So that's definitely one that you might want to track for next week. Moving on to the commodities, definitely have some signals here. These are the contra kind, where we were lower on the day but wound up settling above the day's open. So definitely keep an eye on these. Did have a volume bump in the DBA. The bonds were very much in motion in the beginning of the week, but today was just really a resting day. You can see very little movement today for most of the bonds. Moving on to the foreign names, a couple of volume bumps here. We've got one in the EEM, and we also have one in the FXI. EWG's got a volume bump, and this one has a contra candle to the upside. So I definitely keep an eye on that one, because that could be a player for us next week. And moving on to the specials, just one signal here in the TB2. We've got a contra candle to the downside, so could see some follow through next week. Keep an eye on that. Don't really have any deviations here. We did have a little bit of movement, but usually, just like the rest of the things, we're not going to see too much here. So let's move on to the watch list and see what the bar counts look like. All right, folks. Here's a look at the watch list. You can see that we don't really have any countdowns in play here for the broad market ETFs. The only thing that's really going to come into play here next week, as far as the countdown phase, is going to be the OIH. We're still 12 bars up in the standard seeker. We're already 13 bars up in the Comer. As far as the startup phase here goes, nothing's really too deep except for the XLI, which is 7 bars to the upside in the startup sell phase, and then the XLU is also getting a little bit far along, 5 bars up. So that could actually qualify for completing that 9-bar run next week. So not too much from the counts, just like we saw, not too much from the signals. It's really about expiration, and we'll see a little bit more as we get a little bit deeper into next week. All right, folks, as always, thanks for listening. This has been Rich for TradeSite.